As the NFL draft approaches, here's some video scribbles. Just some thoughts coming on. Number one, I'm begging John Dorsey, draft a linebacker. I don't even care which one, but make sure he's a guy who can play. I do not want to go into the season simply with Genard Avery, Joe Schobert, and Christian Kirksey as your only linebackers. They have a Ray Armstrong, a few others. But please, get somebody else. Also given the fact that last year Kirksey suffered a major injury, missed almost half of the games. Schobert had a hamstring problem. And Genard Avery was only a rookie. They need depth at linebacker. Get one. Secondly, they do need a cornerback, and I do expect them to draft a cornerback fairly high. I'd love to see it be Justin Lane, a Cleveland Benedictine product. Okay, I want the Benedictine. I like Lane, so that's one of the reasons. But he's projected as a second rounder. Michigan State, good player. They could look at some of these other guys. There's a guy named Chris Wong from Michigan, another good cornerback, second rounder, because some of the cornerbacks, let's think about the Browns cornerbacks for a moment, and concerns about them. Terrence Mitchell, who was a pretty good player last year, but he did suffer an injury and missed quite a number of games. And I hope this isn't a problem, but Denzel Ward, he had concussion problems. He had 2 of them. I don't know how many he had in college. I'm glad they sat him out the last number of games. And then they have all kinds of other different guys. For example, they traded for this Eric Murray. But the point being, they need help at linebacker. They need help at cornerback. Here's sort of a fun one, because it's the draft. We haven't been talking about quarterbacks, but just maybe, they might take a quarterback low in the draft, because right now, think about it. You have Baker Mayfield, you have Drew Stanton, and you have, I have to check the exact name, Garrett Gilbert, the star of the American Alliance of Football. They brought him in. By the way, Gilbert was a 6th-round pick in 2014 by the Rams. He has played for, actually been on practice squads with New England, Detroit, Oakland, and he played 1 game with Carolina. So they've got him in. I was told he was, quote, more than a camp arm. In other words, they're kind of interested in him, but he's bounced with so many teams, I can't believe that. I think the Browns need to find a 3rd quarterback who's a young quarterback. I'm going to throw out a couple names just because they're familiar last names. Truthfully, I don't know exactly how good these guys are other than expected to be drafted. The first is Kyle Shermer. That's right, son of Pat Shermer. He played at Vanderbilt. Kyle is supposed to be one of the kind of a smart, savvy quarterback, that kind of thing. He's probably the second coming of Cody Kessler, who knows, but he's one. Here's another, Brett Rippon. Mark Rippon was his uncle, played for the Browns. I kind of like this guy a little bit. Boise State, just kind of these middle round guys. Hey, John Dorsey took a guy like this a number of years ago, a middle round guy. We ended up with the Browns, Kevin Hogan. So look for Dorsey, I think, to grab one of these guys, not necessarily Shermer or Rippon, but a guy like that to bring in another young quarterback, and they can start to develop him at least as a backup behind Baker Mayfield.